Hi, and welcome back to the Positive Prepper. Today I'm going to cover two things. Real quickly, I'm going to cover 5 more things that you can be doing right now to prepare for that long, cold winter that we may very well be facing. So we don't really know who's going to be affected by power outages, and the reason that this is being talked about so much is because, you know, with the propane shortages, and I'm hearing that's especially on the northeastern part of the United States as well as the West Coast. But I know that here in the Midwest, our propane reserves are pretty low, and we're probably going to be paying about 54% more for propane this winter. And a lot of people either won't be able to afford it or won't be able to get it. And so this is a real concern among the prepper community right now. And so I'm just going to try to keep going with some more information that'll hopefully help everybody. So right now, there are 5 things that you can do to get prepared for that. So number 1, stock up on things like your wool socks, hats, gloves, and blankets. Keeping your body warm to avoid like hypothermia, but also wearing the right type of clothing so you're not sweating is going to make a difference. Number 2, go around your house with a thermometer, one of those laser thermometers, and see where the drafts are coming in your house. And then use your window coverings, plastic and duct tape, foam insulation, door socks underneath the doors, things like that to seal up those draft areas. That's going to help you keep the heat in and keep the cold out. And that's something that you can be doing, well, especially in my area because it is colder here. But that's something that you can be doing now just to mitigate some of that heat loss. And then number 3 is make sure that you're stocking up on the easy to heat foods and drinks. Things like soup, coffee, hot chocolate. It's going to be important to keep the inside of your body warm as it is to keep the outside of your body warm. And some of your alternative cooking resources like your camp stove, your smaller camp stoves, can't hold up to making a full-blown meal. So you're going to want to be able to just heat your water, heat soup, make it really, really simple. And then, of course, have that backup heating device for your food and water. If you don't have a generator or a wood stove or a fireplace. Okay? Sterno Stove, canned heat, things like that can do the trick. A Sterno Stove, for those that don't know, it's basically a folding camp stove, like 1 burner. Butane is safer indoors than propane, but you still have to be careful. So hopefully you have a battery-operated carbon monoxide detector just to make sure that the oxygen level in your home is safe. If you're using candles for either light or heat, make sure that they're unscented, because if you use scented candles, especially in an enclosed area like that, you can get really bad headaches, and it's not good for you. And then create micro environments, and I did talk about this in another video. So close off a room that you and your family or you and your mag group can stay in. It should be a place where you can eat and sleep that is small enough to close off with doors or blankets or tarps. And then consider also setting up tents inside that space. Tents retain heat very well, especially if you have the blankets and stuff in there and the body heat. So it's just another like micro environment to think about as far as helping to kind of stay off that cold. And then lastly, you can put together a DIY toilet. You might want to have these materials on hand, and you can do this. I know that you know, there's the using the 5-gallon bucket with the pool noodles, right, and the bags or whatever, but you can do this right in your own toilet. If you lift the seat, put a bag in it, a garbage bag, duct tape the back end of it so it doesn't move, and then put the lid down. And then what you need to have is either like kitty litter or sand or something like that. And then you have a 5-gallon bucket right next to the toilet. So after you've done your business, you cover it up with either the kitty litter or the sand, so it's ready for the next person. And then when that bag is full, you can lift it out of the toilet and put it right into the 5-gallon bucket. That way you don't have to worry about anything spilling on your way to take it out. And then just put another bag in, tape it down, and you're ready to go. So you're going to want garbage bags, either kitty litter or sand, something like that, sawdust, and a 5-gallon bucket and some duct tape. Okay? So those are just some more ideas about how to prepare for a power outage. I also want to talk about what that would look like. Okay, what would a power outage in an SHTF situation look like? So the first day, it might be that we're all struggling with the idea that the power is out. We might have, you know, boredom. We might feel hopeless or helpless because we're not able to work, you know, especially if you work from home or if you're a teacher, or I guess pretty much anything. You're just not going to be able to go to work. You can't text anybody. You can't call anybody. It's dark. And here where I am, it's getting cold. Okay. But you'll survive it. But by the third day, your perishables, if it's not cold where you are in the winter time, your perishables in your fridge, you're going to need to figure out what to do with well before now. In my neck of the woods, it's probably going to be cold enough outside that we can put stuff outside, so we won't lose as much food as fast. Or even putting it in the coldest room of your house so you're not having to open that door and let a lot of that cold air in. You're probably also wanting a shower if you don't have the backup generator, things like that. If you're going completely without power, it takes a lot of energy and resources to heat the water, especially for everybody that's either in your family or your mag group. So just using wet wipes or wipies, you know, the baby wipes, or just having heated water and a washcloth, and then you can use that gray water to flush your toilets. By the fourth day, you might have people coming to your door looking for food. The average grocery store typically only has about 3 days worth of supplies. So you might not know yet if this is a long-term power outage. Hopefully you've been able to get to your comms to find out, you know, why the power is out and how long it's going to be. If you share your preps though, so when people start coming to your door, remember that as people get more desperate, they're not going to take no for an answer. So you need to think about how you're going to handle those first few people that come and ask if you have any food to spare, because that will affect the long term of people knowing what you have or don't have. By the 7th day, so a week has gone by, people are desperate. Okay? Groups are going to start forming to go out and look for that food. And if they know you're a prepper, you are going to be a target. All of your lines of defense should already be in place at this point. You need to decide what your morals are at this point. Is it okay to 86 somebody if they are trying to take your resources? Is it okay to go loot a pharmacy if you need specific medications? Okay, so these are some of the moral dilemmas that you're going to have to face, that you're really going to have to decide what you're going to do in those situations. Because by day 7, it's real. Okay? Probably by this time, society, depending on what the SHTF is, has collapsed. Military, police, you're not going to be able to call 911. You're not going to be able to rely on them. You're not going to be able to rely on hospitals or ambulances. You are going to have to be self-reliant by that point. If you know the power is going to come on soon, does that change whether or not you share the preps that you have? So what type of group do you have? How many do you have? How much food do you have put away or supplies? If you know the power is going to be out for a long time, are you prepared to deal with the emotional and physical challenges that you are going to face? Are you mentally able to handle it? Are you physically able to handle it? So this is the reality of prepping, and this is what it's probably going to look like when SHTF and the power goes out. And it's why it's so important to keep going with those preps. Even small steps can make a huge difference between ending up being a vagrant and going out and searching for the things that you need, or being that self-reliant survivor and being able to survive that SHTF even in this upcoming long cold winter. Proverbs 22:3 says, "The prudent sees danger and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it." So in other words, you know what's coming, okay? Keep your preps hidden as best you can, but prepare for it. And I think you're going to be just fine. Don't panic. You know, we don't know if this is going to happen here. Nobody really has a clue. We know that prices are going to go up. We are pretty certain that there's going to be shortages of exactly what remains to be seen. Just keep going. You know, the Bible reassures us that if we keep doing what we're doing and we prepare ourselves and we keep filling that lamp oil, we're going to be okay. So don't give up. Keep moving forward, and God bless.